thing I think is absolutely crucial for landlords to do is not to rush in and fill a room just to avoid getting a void. Getting the wrong person in a house will inevitably lead to probably lower income and more issues in the house. So I'm always quite prepared to have a void for a period of time whilst I wait for the right person in a house. And I guess you've got to think, what makes the right person in a house? And I think it comes down to three particular aspects. It's the respect, cleanliness, and rapport. Respect is because if you get a mix of people in a house, particularly in a shared house, tenants have got to be tolerant of some differences between them. There's bound to be some differences of what people expect and how they want to live in a house. So for example, even working patterns, so being quiet when you know somebody else is asleep, and respecting those sorts of differences. Cleanliness, which is one of the key issues that often gets raised in a house. It is important that people do tidy up after themselves and do take their fair share of the chores, just putting bins out, tidying up after eating and so on. And the third aspect about rapport is about trying to find people who you think are going to talk to each other, are going to socialise with each other, and will have maybe part of the same generation as well, so they have some of the similar interests in the house. So you know that there's going to be a good mix in the house when they're all in there together. But one thing I'd say is, whilst I try to get a mix of male-female in the house, that's not essential. An all-male or an all-female house can work really well as well, even though I prefer to try and get that mix. Because if you get the mix, it's much easier to get a replacement tenant in the house also. So I think that getting a harmonious house is crucial. The tenants will be happier. You can sense it when you visit them. Happy tenants will then stay longer. And they're also usually much better at then giving referrals for other tenants into your existing house or other houses. And it's so much nicer when you get a happy house like that. Yes, obviously in a shared house, there are going to be certain parts of the house which are shared use for everyone, and parts of the house which are your own private use, such as your bedroom. The shared areas, like the lounge, kitchen, and the kitchen in particular, is important as well to try and create some private space for each individual. So in the houses that we provide, everybody has their own cupboard for dry food and their own specified shelf in the fridge and a drawer in the freezer. They're not named, but at least everybody is then clear, that's my food and it's not for anybody else to go and touch. I try to avoid putting up lots of notices everywhere, because it then moves away from being a home for the people in the house, and it becomes much more like a canteen or somewhere where it specifies you've got to put knives and forks away and you've got to do this and that and so on. Cleanliness is crucial in the kitchen area and the dining area. And one thing when we take people into the house is to be clear to them, if we have a dishwasher, then by all means put things into the dishwasher, clear them away and put them into the dishwasher. And whilst we don't expect somebody to put on a dishwasher with just one set of items in there, they do need to keep regularly using the dishwasher and not let plates fester in there, or just wash up after themselves and put things away. We find in our houses you get a range of people, from the ultra cleanliness people to those who are very untidy, and both of those extremes need to be tolerant of each other to an extent, and those who are ultra tidy and cleanliness need to respect that other people don't just take their coffee mug away and wash it up and put it back in the cupboard after use. So they have to have that tolerance between themselves.